Very good evening and a very good afternoon to everybody who's here. A very good evening to everybody from India and a very good afternoon to everybody joining us in from Italy. The whole idea behind this particular, session that we are having is going to be the whole talk is going to be about happiness and the five elements. And I think a huge, big thank you to Simona for taking time out to be with us today to kind of share all that she's going to about the PERMA method and everything that's going to follow. So, Simona, without much further ado, I think I'll request you to kind of take stage. I will be here and I'll put my video off and I'll be on mute, but I'll be listening in. So, yeah, looking forward. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thanks.
Thank you, Sapna. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Happy to see you all. We are again together with some of the people of the HD Club, and welcome to the new people. Okay, today we are here to talk about happiness. So the first thing is I'm very happy to be with you. So we start with something that is a bit of happiness. And I have a question, and I would like for the one who have the video to put in the chat. Do you want to be happy? Because this is very important to me. Otherwise, what we talk about? Are you willing to be happy? Raise the hand. Who is willing? I see somebody saying yes and somebody raising the hand. It's great. But I have a better question. Think about the people you love most in your life. What can we wish them more than happiness? Because, we can wish them wealth, we can wish them health, we can wish a lot of things. But imagine, I think we all know people that maybe is very wealthy, not always they're very happy. And there is a great book from Professor Raj of Indian Business School who says, the title is, if you are so smart, why aren't you happy? And this is a very big question. So it's important to think, what is the value that we give to happiness, to our life, in our life, and in the life of the people we love? So now I need your help, because I don't want to do something that is a ready-made webinar. I wish to do something that can be very useful for you. So I need some interaction for you. And I wish each one of you to write in the chat what makes you happy, so that we can create something that is tailor-made on you. One thing, I don't need many, but at least one thing from each one of you. So what makes you happy? At least one thing. Family time, take responsibility of my life. Again. Who else? Nobody else? Quality time, great. What else? Family time, to do things I love, very good. The sense of doing something meaningful, great. Poetry, I love poetry too. What else? Who else has something to add? Enjoying the good weather, ideally with people dear to us. Time for myself, poetry, very nice. Happiness is very subjective, yes. Each one of us can have a different concept. Just being, great. Close to nature. So as you see, we have many, many different ways of expressing or thinking about happiness, or what makes us happy. Each one of us has a different concept or a different idea. But what I wish you to think just a second is, when you're happy, how do you feel? A part of the happiness, how do you feel? Don't you see life in a different way? Everything is bright, everything is light. When we are happy, everything changes color. I mean, it looks that life is much easier, trouble are not as heavy as at the time. I see something else, fulfilled and balanced, okay, depends on your mental, perfect. So we say, it's not only being happy, but is what happiness produces in our mind. And happiness is a great medicine, because happiness, we'll see during the session, is giving a lot of positive consequences. So it looks like that something happened that we like, and this one makes us happy, isn't it? Now, I wish you are willing to listen to a story that maybe will give you another perspective. There was a couple. They were celebrating 50 years together. It was their anniversary. 50 years together. The lady was somebody somehow well known, so she got interviewed. There was a journalist on the radio asking several questions. And then suddenly the journalist asked her, "So, your husband made you happy?" And the answer of the lady was no. And it was a shocking answer because everybody knew them as a nice couple, people that got along together for many years, let's say happily. So, this answer was a bit confusing, everybody, most of all the journalists. But the lady added, "I decided to be happy. It's not my husband who made me happy. Then he is the best man I could have married, and I would like to marry him again. But he is not the cause of my happiness. I decided to be happy." And this is what I wish to talk with you today. Happiness is not a causal. Happiness is not a result. Happiness is a causal. And as many research have already proven, starting from Professor Seligman from Penn University, when you're happy, your health improves. Our immunity system is stronger, your relationships are better. Usually you perform better in school or at job. People that report to be more happy is usually people who has better life and work balance. And this is something very great for entrepreneurs. That is also something that can lead to better profit. And there's a personal experience I had. Not doing a lot of things in this company, not talking about strategy, goal, and whatever, but just working on the level of happiness of the people working there. The profit of the company changed and improved. Because obviously, people that is happy spread happiness. And there is something that is very important. That is everything at the chemistry level in our brain. Happy people makes sound decisions. So if you want to be sure that you always choose the best, remember that being happy is a great tool. So this is something that we say. So we can choose to be happy. If we realize that happiness increases our health, our wealth, our well-being, our results, our success, our relationship, our profit, obviously, we can decide to be happy. And in fact, happiness is a choice. To make it, we need, number one, to desire to be happy, to decide to become happy, and then to implement something. That is what Professor Seligman, Martin Seligman from Penn University, has already created. And that is a method called PERMA method. This PERMA method is an acronym, and it stands for P as positive emotions. So the way to build this happiness, now we are going to see how to put some bricks or blocks, whatever, to build our happiness. So the number one is positive emotions. Later on, we are going to see how to implement it. For the moment, I just give you the receipt. So we start creating the 5 points. The second one is E as engagement. This is the second element we need if we want to be happy. The third one is R as relationship. Relationships are a key point in our life. We are social animals and we need relationships. But obviously, as for the other 2 points, we are going to see how to create relationships that are going to help us to improve our happiness level. M stands for meaning. Because human beings can't live a life just to survive. We can't be happy if we feel that our life is going nowhere. Maybe we can wake up and we can eat, But if we don't have a meaning, why are we alive? This is a question also old philosophers were asking. So why are we alive? What is the meaning of our life? So meaning is another key element in building our happiness. And then we have A as accomplishment. Accomplishment is the capability to identify each step ahead we have already done and we are doing. Because something that can kill our happiness is to compare ourselves to others. Meaning I'm short and black and I compare myself with somebody that is tall and blonde. And maybe I wish to be tall and blonde. That is not true, but anyways, just to give an example. And obviously I compare myself with somebody that is not me. And this is exactly the same also in job, in our career, or when we look at other parents or whatever. So what we need to do is to compare ourselves with our previous self. Every day I've done something in the direction I want. Every day I've done something I can be proud of. That is an accomplishment. And it's very important for us to acknowledge them. I wish everything is clear. Can you put a comment to see if these 5 elements until now are clear? Can you give me an okay through the chat or through raising hands or whatever? I need to see. Okay, somebody's saying very clear. It's okay. So we can go on. Professor Seligman, as I told you, did a lot of research in different areas and in different countries. And what has been proven is how the physiology of the brain change and the chemistry of the brain change when we are happy. When we say being happy leads us to be also more healthy, it means happy people lives longer and most of all lives healthy life, meaning that usually happy people is not taking a lot of pills, for example, also at old age, and they are able to enjoy life until the end. They fall sick much less than other people. So another aspect is your immunity system is boosted. It means people don't fall sick as often as others, and the percentage are very significant. It's not a small difference. You know, doing research, you have the comparison groups, and the difference were very, very big. And another research has been done going to India, an American university, was taking students from MBA from America to India for a joint program. The professor who took the children there, the students there, was an Indian one, but he actually lives in Texas. When he reached there, after some years, he was not living there, he met some of his classmates or friends or colleagues, and he did a very interesting discovery. He said, you know, the students, my colleague, my classmates, they were the most brilliant, are not nowadays always the one who have better results. And moreover, they are not the happier people I've met. While maybe some other that was not as bright or successful at school is a person that is nowadays very happy. So I said there is something that is wrong because I'm teaching an MBA. So we are trying to train these students to perform well, to create great business, to create a lot of things because we think that this way they are going to live a great life. But now when I watch what is happening in the reality, it's not always like that. Or I can say that majority of the case is not like that. Because maybe people has great success, but are very stressed. Maybe they don't have work-life balance. Maybe they don't enjoy the company or the people they love. So there is a lack of, there is something that is not perfect, is not matching. From this, from many observations like this, the other point was, let's go and see how is the income of these people. And again, the people who got better, they understood and they had better income, mostly were people that were living happy. Maybe they didn't have a very good starting point, but in a way or the other, they have been able to create some wealth better than others that are struggling every day, very stressed, trying to get results only in business. So, having understood the importance of being happy, now we want to see how can we build it. We go back again to PERMA. Let's think at positive emotions. How can we create or simulate positive emotion? May I have your collaboration, please? Try to post something in the comment. How can you create and maintain positive emotions? So for the person, smiling creates positive emotions. Thank you. For the person who joined now, we are asking how can we create positive emotion? Giving, great. By reflection, yes. Doing good deeds, good. What else? What else can make you feeling positive emotions? Thinking positive, yes, very true. Share is a positive emotion as well, yes. Hearing ourselves, yes. Care, great. Now, what we have to listen, good. Now, if we decide, because we said we want to be happy, we need to desire it, we need to decide. Now, if we decide to be happy, we need to understand how to make something every day, because our life is every day. The past is gone. The future, we don't know what it will be. I have a nice comment here. I want to read it. First, I should be happy, and then I make others happy. Yes, very true. This is another aspect. Thank you for sharing this thought, because when we are happy, we spread happiness. And this is very important because we become a light also in other people's life. So when we decide to be happy, we need to decide how to implement every day. Whatever you have said is very good. Congratulations. And there is something that can be a very easy exercise, for example. It is being grateful. Because, just thinking about something and you feel grateful for, it will immediately put a smile on your face. And I want to share again a story. This is a true story. I live in Kenya. And here the sanitary system is not so good and you have to pay everything. An old man falls sick. He went to the hospital and the doctor, after many research, they said he was having a very serious urinary infection. And here, before they treat you, they prepare a kind of bill because they must be sure that you're able to pay. So the doctors wrote everything he needed as treatment, medicine, whatever. And then a doctor went to the patient with the paper, showing him the paper. Immediately he showed the paper. The old man started crying. He was so desperate. The doctor was unable to understand what to do because, it's not easy to handle a patient that is so desperate. And the doctor was trying to give him some words of comfort, but don't worry. Maybe we can do a fundraising. Please don't do like this. There is always hope, and so on. But the man was still crying. Then the man took a breath, and then he said, I'm not crying for the bill. I'm crying because for more than 70 years, God gave me the capability to urinate without asking me even a shilling, and I never told him thank you. And this is something that too many times we all forget. We forget to say thanks for what we have and we give for granted, but it is not. And we start from the possibility to see or to eat or to hear or to walk. Going deep, our life is full of blessings. So one strategic way to create positive emotions is also being grateful, and make it as a must every day to find at least 3 things to be grateful for. And now we go to engagement. Engagement is the second pillar of these methods. You know, engagement is when you do something that you love. And I feel each one of you has something that you love so much that when you do it, time flies. You are in a flow. You can't stop doing it because you love it. And maybe when you realize, maybe you thought that you are there from 1 hour and then maybe it's 2 or 3 or 4 hours. Maybe you are playing a game or you're reading a book. To me, happens when I read a book or when I study something that I like. I think it's now and then I watch, oh my God, it's 2 hours that I'm here or 3 hours. It looks like 5 minutes. So engagement is identifying what you love. And the practical tool is to make a list of what you love. You start writing, and I suggest to do it today. You write what you love doing. And then you make sure that every day you dedicate at least 5 minutes to something you love. Again, when you discover and you really write down whatever you love, try to put some aspect of your love, of your job. Try to write down some aspects of your daily life. You know, don't ask me to go and cook because I can't say that I love it. But there are some other things in the house that I can do with pleasure. And maybe I use it as a time to think because are simple things. And while I do it, I can go with my thoughts and inventing my stories, for example. So try to put it very practical. What you like, what you do that when you do it, time flies, and apply it in each area of life. Try to link, and then you go to find this aspect in your daily life. Another aspect is to feel engaged. Focus on your strength. Because, you know, usually we look at what we miss, what we want to improve, at our weaknesses, because also the school system in many countries or family education is looking at what is wrong. But, you know, imagine to be a farmer and you have very few seeds because you are very poor, and you have 2 fields. One is very fertile and close to the water, and another is very arid and there is no water. If you have very few seeds and you need to feed your family, where are you going to plant your seeds? Most probably, you are going to plant in the fertile soil because you have soil, you have water, and you are going to get harvest. The same. Why don't we do the same for ourselves, for our children, in our job? We look at the weaknesses of our partners, or our children, or our colleagues. We always look at what is not going well. But this is not a way to become engaged in what we do, because maybe we have some friction also. And now we go to the relationship. Imagine yourself as you are a river, a beautiful river, transparent water, a lot of fish swimming in it. And now you also have some affluents. And someone coming from the mountain, the water from there is clean and fresh and beautiful. And is a new, and it's good for your river to receive it. But try to imagine now that you have also some other affluents, and maybe they're coming from some factories. and maybe from factories that are not taking care of environment. So in that water, there are a lot of chemical and a lot of bad things. If you receive that water, what will be the life of the fishes that are in your river? And how the water of your river will be? Obviously, not as clean as before. So try to imagine that the people we surround ourselves, they could be the clean water from the mountain, or they can be dirty water from the factories. It's us to decide how to interact, who to stay with, and how to create a strong, nice river, clean water, because clean water is also good for others. You know, if I keep my water clean, other people can also drink from my water. Other fishes can come and swim in my water. But if my water becomes as a poison, whoever touch it is going to die. So we have, first of all, to protect ourselves. Again, a very good exercise is to write down the name of the people that you meet, the people you work with. Are we together? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
We are.
Because there was
Yes.
something as looking, the connection was down. Okay. So the best way is to to make a list of all the people you know, and then you write immediately next to the name of the person, what do you appreciate more of that person? You know, when you do it, it's family members, friends, colleagues. You write what you appreciate more. And then the second thing you can write, what can you learn from this person? What are the strengths of this person that you admire, that are good according to your point of view? And last, how can you be a role model to this person? What can you learn? What can you give? You know, if we start looking at people this way, most of the conflicts also inside companies or organizations or families immediately lose power, because each one is going to recognize the strength of the other person. And when we watch the person, we look at what we like of him or her. And we look at what the person, what I admire of the person, also what I can learn from the person. Usually it happens opposite. I'm very good, for example, in maths. I'm in school, I'm very good in maths, that one is stupid. Or I'm very good in a sport, that one is stupid, is not able. And we criticize people that is not as we want them to be, or we compare them with some strengths we have. But you know, we are all human beings and we are social, and we need to cope. As the African proverb says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Working together, we can do marvelous things. So this is a very practical tool for you to get the best relationship, positive relationship, something that is going to nurture your life and to create something for the best also for the future. Is it clear for the relationship, how to work on that? Can you give me some comment, please, on the chat? Okay, great. Now we go for meaning. As I said, it's very difficult to live being happy if we feel that our life is having no meaning. What is the reason of being alive? And there is also here, there is a very nice tool. Number one, look at your values. What are the main values in your life? 3, 4, 5, not many. The biggest values for you. The one, if you have to choose only 5, These are the ones I can't negotiate. I can't compromise. When you have your values, that is very good because you can immediately identify if what you're doing is according to your values. And that is something that gives meaning to your life. I do this because it's part of my value. Why do I do what I do? And this is something very good also in your job or in your office or wherever you are. Because sometimes not everybody is so lucky to do a job that he or she likes. Sometimes we are doing a job that maybe is not the best for us. I mean, it's not the job of our dream. Sometimes we plan how to change, but in the while, we have to cope with what we have. So when we look at what we are doing, we try to identify at least something small that has a meaning for us. I do this. So why I do this? You know, also if I work just because I need the daily bread, it's not a just. And I can be grateful of that instead of complaining and complaining and complaining. And how can my job positively impact the company, my colleagues, uh, my life? Because if I go home satisfied, if I go home happy, how is the relation in the family? Very different, isn't it? If we go back home and we are tired and stressed and we have a lot of complaint, and sometimes what we do is just to tell everybody we go back, today it was very bad because what is the climate in the house? What are we spreading in the house? But what is important is what we are feeling. We are not feeling happy. But if we get also a small, small thing that is giving a meaning to what I'm doing, that one can make me happier one day after the other, building strong happiness. And imagine our life again. Now I say as a river. Now I want to tell you, try to imagine our life as a garden. To have a beautiful garden is not enough to keep it clean. We need to plant flowers or plants. To make it beautiful, we need to water the flowers and the plants. That way, we'll have a beautiful garden. Our life is a garden. If we want nice feelings, if we want nice relationships, if we want to be healthy and enjoy life, the most important thing is to plant the seeds of these things. Again, using these tools I'm trying to give you. Are not the only one, obviously, but in 1 hour we can't make a lot. But at least are the basic one. So meaning is very important. We are important. We are the engine of our life. Without us, our life is not alive. Your life is you. And then from you, you can spread everywhere. Last is accomplishment. As I said before, and again, most of the time, we look at what we don't have. And I think that for many of us, we start the day with a long to-do list. Many things to do. Maybe in the evening, we have not been able to complete the task. At least in my experience, all the people I work with usually declare that 90% of the time, they are not able to complete the to-do list and they have pending issues for the following days. And this one makes them a bit unhappy or anyway frustrated, or they feel guilty or whatever. Many, many different feelings. Now, I wish to ask you, when you are not able to complete your task or when your to-do list is not completed, how do you feel? Can you write some answer? In hurry and unsatisfied. Thank you. What else? What are the feelings when you have not stressed? Yes, I imagine. What else? Who else want to contribute so that we disturb? Yes, that is also very true. Thank you. Again? Very good, this comment. So common that it feels normal. It's something that is true. Many people experience every day. Not good. Great. Would be interesting for you if we get a simple tool that can help you not feeling like this. And this is a simple, very simple tool. At the moment, we make in the simplest possible way. In the morning, you look at your to-do list. And you read everything, and then you select what is the most important thing of the day. Doesn't matter if you have 20, 30, 50 tasks. Doesn't matter. You look at your to-do list and you check what is the most important one for the day. And you try to do it as soon as possible. Because this one is an achievement. You have accomplished something. But maybe you do 8 out of the 10 tasks and you go home unsatisfied because again, we watch at what is negative, at what is not perfect. Instead of looking at the 8 good things we have done, we focus our attention on the 2 we have not been doing to complete. So when we give ourselves in the morning and we say one thing, this thing is going to give meaning to my life. This is something that I want to do because when I've done it, I know that my day has a meaning and all the other things will follow. So this is something that is very, very simple, but I can assure you that if you start looking at things from this point of view, it will change a lot, the feeling you have. So the number 5 is the accomplishment. Another good way is every day you write down what you have accomplished. So this is journaling, but only on accomplishment. So in the evening or early in the morning from the previous day, you start keeping as a journal where you record whatever is an accomplishment. From the day before, we don't need to do big things because the longest journey is one step at a time. So we don't need to do very big things, but every day to recognize that we have done a step ahead. Each step, it takes us closer to what we want in life, to achieve our dream, to accomplish our desire, and to live as we like. So happiness becomes the core of a better life and is usually the best we can also wish to everybody. I'd like to know if you have any question, maybe to make it practical, because I've been studying these things and talking about these things so many times, but I'd like to know if it is somehow clear or what could be you wish me to reinforce or any doubt or question. I'm ready for that. So somebody joined just now, and I quickly repeat that today we talked about PERMA. That is a method to create and maintain happiness done out of positive emotion, engagement, good relationship, giving meaning to our life, and accomplishment. And we describe some few tools that can help us to create these habits in our life in a way that everything is happier. Okay, Marco, to reset my mind and become more relaxed and live, it helps me thinking about that, more happy. Okay. Yes, all the media used by monks. Yes, that is a very good. That is a very good way. Very good way. Any question about what we discussed? Okay. Do you have any question, Mikalakis, or any comment to what we have been saying?
Hello, Simona.
Hello.
No, I don't have any questions, but you was great anyway. And I am following you.
Thank you. Okay. If we have no question, we can maybe go on with something that can instead create some challenges. Because if we look at this way from PERMA, it looks very easy maintain happiness. But in the reality, maybe not everyday life is so easy. And then we can have some challenges. Life is full of up and down. We know it. Now try to imagine that there are 7 habits that can help happiness, as we have 7 sins that can create challenges. The first one is devaluating happiness. What do I mean for devaluating happiness? It means that sometimes when we have to choose something, we don't ask ourselves, what can make me happy? Or what is the choice that can give me more happiness? But we choose according to stereotype, maybe different people opinions. Maybe I want to be a self-employed person, and maybe I'm surrounded by people who says, but you are employed, you have a safe job, you have a good salary, why do you want to take the risk? Why? And then maybe you choose because you choose to remain employed, though it's not what you want, it's not what makes you happy, because you try to follow the advice of somebody that are good advice, but it's not your advice. Could be also opposite, is the same. What makes you feeling happy? So the first thing could be devaluating happiness. It means we don't choose according with what makes us happy, but we choose according to different parameters. Another one is when we chase superiority. Chasing superiority is something that incredibly decreases happiness. Because when we chase for superiority, the only thing we want is to be superior to other people. And is not, and this is something that is really terrible. So be aware that chasing superiority is one of the worst we can do. And another one is distrusting others. It's been proved that countries where the level of happiness is higher, people who is happier is usually people that trust others. And you can trust not because you're stupid and you trust everybody, but you trust because you consider the pros and cons. You trust others. If something happened, it's something that you have already calculated. There was a nice experiment going on. It was a research. And people giving to a simple vendor more money, and the person was having no money to give the balance. And there were 2 choices. One is, okay, I don't buy the good. And the second was to trust the salesman that was saying on the beach, okay, I will go to look for change and I will come with the change. And you know what? It has been very nice to see how watching these people, it was an experiment. And people that trusted the vendor to come back with the change, at the end of the day was the people that was having a happier life. And when you ask them, okay, but how do you trust maybe 50 euro or $50 for a Coke? It's a lot of money. Maybe a poor vendor could be tempted to run away with $50 for a Coke. And then the people answered, I wanted the Coke, and I trust people, and I consider that at the end of the day, if he decided to take my $50, it's not my problem. I can survive anyway. I mean, it's a loss, but it's not something that destroys my life. So all in all, I prefer to trust people and to accept the possibility of something that is not going well. But you can be surprised by saying that majority of the people is honest. The only thing is that we are so exposed to the bad news that we forget that majority of the people is good people, is honest people, is trustable people. And before we close, because we have few minutes to go, I wish to leave you with something that is I love, I deeply love, and is positive psychology, and this PERMA method is the foundation of positive education. Positive education is not implemented in every country. Just few countries are implementing it, but is a great tool to grow children that are healthy, are strong, are resilient, and able to pilot their life. And this is something that is so new. Professor Seligman is still alive, so our new research, our new theory, but in Great Britain, I mean, in some countries, they've already implemented in the public school. So positive psychology and this PERMA method is something that you can teach. And to share my own experience, for many years, I've been thinking, something that I'm doing and I'm since long, and something is just common sense, or just some studies is okay. But I was wondering, why nobody tell people, we can do it, everybody can do it. Why no school teach us this one? Why no school teach children how to become strong, resilient, but in a positive way, how to enjoy life, how to plant the seeds in the fertile soil, meaning looking at what is good in you rather than what is bad in you. This one creates collaboration. If I know that I'm not good in something and then I appreciate somebody else that is good on that, we can create a wonderful team. That's why everything goes smoother. Because if you instill this mentality, we are open to the other people. And we can join other people. And each one of us is a seed. Each one of us gives a contribution. And all together, maybe my strength is your weakness, but also your weakness, your strength is my weakness. And if we fight to change or to transform or to mitigate our weaknesses, we waste a lot of time. We invest a lot of energy. We invest a lot of resources. And it's the same as when we plant in the arid soil and when there is no water and is not fertile. We struggle, we struggle, we struggle. The result can't be as good as if we plant in what we are able to do. So at job, in the family, don't pretend to be perfect. We are human beings. We can't be perfect. What is important to be is the best version of ourselves. And being honest to ourselves, saying, have I done the best I could? Have I done it out of my capabilities, my knowledge, my heart, honestly? That's all. We can't be different from what we have. But we can become the best version of ourselves if we plant seeds in our strengths and we start being grateful for what we have, appreciating every day as a great gift of life, appreciating whatever we have, and harvesting the good moments. What I mean, When you are a farmer, when it's harvesting time, the farmer collects everything from the field. Nobody leaves half of the harvest on the field. They take home everything. And obviously, not everything can be used in a day. So what happens is that the farmer store the products in a store or somewhere, or process it, so that these products will be useful also in the future. For example, in our countries, from summer in winter, when you don't have harvest. And life is the same. You know, we have nice moments and bad moments that are normal. But if we harvest every day the best we can, and we enjoy each moment, and we are grateful for each moment, when the bad moments come, when difficult moments come, we can go to our store and take out something that are nice feelings, nice memories, something that can rejuvenate us and give us the possibility to face the challenge and to come out of the challenge. So this is for me. I think it's all. The time is over. We have just 2 minutes for greetings. And just if there is any insight or question or comment, we are open to that. I love reading. In any society, if most of the people is not honest, the society collapses, yes. But it's true. Majority of the society, people is honest. Majority of the people is honest. But we only focus on the one who are not. Thank you, Sapna.
No, thank you very much, Simona. I think on behalf of everyone here, I mean, we will leave another minute for a round of questions in case anybody has anything to ask. But honestly, I think the session was so beautifully conducted, and all the principles that you spoke of. I think the positive psychology that you spoke of for young children, and just the way that I think we all need to kind of relook at perhaps how we are perceiving our own happiness and how we are working towards it. I think the whole session was very, very reflective, and it's left a lot of points of getting back to it and wondering how best we can inculcate aspects of it. So thank you very, very much on behalf of the HD Club, of course. And anybody, if you all have any questions that you'll want to ask, I think this would be a good time before we close the meeting. Thank you very much, Simona. Thanks.
Welcome, welcome.
Anybody? Okay. I think everyone's good and everybody's got
Yes,
enough points
yes.
of, yeah, just
Maybe
like
also too many.
No, not too many. I don't think it's too many. I think it's. I think sessions like this take a little time to kind of ensure that it sinks down deep within all that we have been receiving. So I think it's going to be an interesting point to come back maybe next week to the HD Club. And if anybody has questions, even regarding the session, I'm sure that if you're there, you'd be able to kind of address that even at that point. Yes.
Yes, surely. We are together.
Yes.
It's
Thank you
okay.
very much. Yes.
So
Thank you all.
thank you, everybody. Enjoy
Yes.
your evening,
Yeah.
and I wish you have enjoyed.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.